There's a little water down there. Not a whole lot though.
Boy, don't want to trip down this hill. Yeah, we did bring bait, but don't think we'll be using it. Unless we go over to the Mississippi. I think this...
No,
it might be, but we can always drive there. But this creek typically would run into the Mississippi. I think it's called Pike Creek. It don't look like it's running in there right now.
It's not running anywhere. Nothing but stagnant water.
I know.
Andy says there's a 6-mile hiking trail here somewhere. Are you going to do it?
I don't know. If it's shady, it wouldn't be so bad. It's going to be in the high 90s today.
The trail's shady.
That's what I said, yeah. I think it should be. Oh, spider web. Whoa.
Yeah, it's a white pine, I think.
Look at that. That's an oldie. Split off to 2. Yeah, that's neato. Huge.
Yeah, on a rainy year, that'd be pretty cool if that creek was flowing. You'd hear the water rushing by. The good part about it being a drought like this is there's very few, if any, mosquitoes. Lots of spider webs, so I keep walking through them.
I think that's where you go to the bigger trail, and this goes to the front. I think so. I got my map with me, my non-electrical map. Let's see here. We walked right here. Now we're probably right here, and that's where it goes off to different stuff. Here's
a better map.
The same map. So yes.
Where are we? You are here.
Yeah, see, if you were to take this exit, then that goes to the longer hike. Yeah, this was the tenant farmer house. This wasn't Limbaugh's house, LINDBERGH's house.
Oh, look at that nest. It's an active nest.
Oh my God. That's scary.
Dude. Yeah, you're in the way. You're going to this house. This house is a hazard. This is what kind of house?
It was a tenant farmer's house.
It's a farmer's house?
It was a, yeah, farmer's house.
What farmer's house? Look at the stone foundation. Holy crap. You talk about a bee's nest. Look at that.
I'm not getting close to that thing.
They got it bee's nest built right in the side of the house.
It's probably filled. I'd be careful.
These look like honeybees.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, because they don't have that typical wasp-looking nest thing, and they're not attacking you yet.
Yeah. They may be. They're small.
I'm not going to press my luck.
I'm not. I already got over my last.
This was in its better days. We're gonna scoot around a little bit on the bike, scope things out. Okay, we got the campsite that we did. Everything else looks doesn't look level. It's like water's off for repairs, but it does look like they have public showers. Or public campgrounds have showers, I should say. Away we go. In the interest of saving you the wind noise, I'm just showing you around the campground here. There's 14 electric sites and a total of 38 sites total. There's no pull-throughs. I would think it would be very difficult, if not impossible, to get like a big travel trailer or a fifth wheel camper in any of these sites. Right? I expect you could do it, but it wouldn't be fun to try. As you can see, the sites are pretty small. Most of them seem pretty level, but there's a lot of tent camping sites, and they have the tent camping sites sort of built up. Like, for example, where you would pitch your tent, they have like railroad ties as like a retaining wall to make it really flat and very accessible area to pitch a tent. All in all, I was pretty doggone impressed with like the other campgrounds we've seen here in the past few weeks, how clean and really organized this campground was. Nice group camping area. 2 fire pits. Lots of room back there. Here it is. I'm using a Hero 5 Session cube right now that's like 10 plus years old that I had in my backpack of my bicycle. How awesome is that? Still 4K, 30 frames a second, I think. Anyway, here's the LINDBERGH house. I found it, ride my bike around the park. It's kind of hidden. You know, I thought this was just a regular house. You know, it looks like somebody's house. It's so well kept. So, yeah, it's the LINDBERGH house. They called it the farm. And here, I'll show you a picture of the dedication. But anyway, this is right on the Mississippi River, which is right here. So I'm kind of exploring around, seeing if there's a place to fish or something out here. Because it's like 5 o'clock in the evening now, and we're going to spend the night and do some more sightseeing in the morning, then head back home to the homestead. But it's pretty nice out here. I mean, we couldn't have picked a better day for it, that's for sure. They're calling this a river walk. And this is the LINDBERGH, or the guy's museum here. And I'm doing like a river bike ride. It's going to be easy going down. It's the getting up part that I might have to do the river walk. And here's right behind the museum. That's where I walked down, rode down. That's really nice down here. Still on the Hero 5 Session. I'd be curious to know if this thing really works after all these years. Like, I haven't used it in so many years. But it's what I got. Here's the Mississippi River, right here. So, upon my great discovery of the, I keep wanting to say LINDBERGH, but it's LINDBERGH. I don't know why, but upon my great discovery of this place, Candy wanted to come and see it. So, it's actually pretty close walking distance. So, yeah, here she is. Say hi. Do you have anything to say? No. No? There is steps that go down by the house. It's a little gate here. I think I'm going to risk it. I think I'm going to risk the poison ivy. And the bramble bushes. And there it is. It's a pretty big place. Just beautiful. Yeah, that gated off there. That's gated off there. That probably stops people from driving down here, would be my guess. Or maybe they don't want you to fall in the river. That's probably more like it. Little culvert there. Keep water away from the house. You know, in my youth, this is stuff that I could have just cared less about. So what? It's an old guy that died, famous or not. But as you get older, for some reason you kind of care. It's true. It's just true. I climbed up that big embankment. I could live in a house like this very easily. I could live in a place like this very easily. Harsh winters or not. I mean, my guess would be our winters are as bad. Probably more so because we're an hour north of here. But they don't bother me. What'd you think?
Pretty fancy.
Could you live here?
Yeah. Think they'll sell it to us?
No.
Right on the river. Yeah. What if that's a little dugout down there?
I was gonna say, I heard people down there. It turns out it's a pontoon boat. Go have a look. There's a good old bench down there.
Yeah. Yeah. River looks good here.
You got a little composter here.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we showed you just about everything there is to see here at
LINDBERGH. Charles A. LINDBERGH State Park.
So, I guess I'll close it out here and say thanks for watching. We're going to spend the night, get up early in the morning, and we may or may not visit the museum. I'm thinking not. But, hey, a one-day trip, was it worth it? Yep, definitely worth it. Definitely worth the one-day trip, especially since we didn't have to travel many hours to get here. So, our next trip is going to be up north of Duluth even, to another state park up there. We haven't made up our minds which one yet, but it'll be bigger, this I can assure you. A lot bigger. I'm exploring. As I'm riding by, this is some kind of a historical museum, history museum here. Weyerhaeuser, something. Charles A. I'm butchering the name. Weyerhaeuser Memorial. And off the top of my head, I have no idea who that is. Therefore, I'm not going to it. See what's over there. There's a lot of old farm equipment laying in the field there. Here's a public access. Called Pike Creek Boat Ramp. Oh yeah, you could do some fishing here. My guess the fishing would be pretty decent too. Here comes a boater right now. Going after anything in particular?
I'm going after walleye.
Ah.
I'll probably catch smallmouth.
Yeah, there's a lot of smallies in the rivers. That's the only thing I've ever caught. Yeah, well, how do you catch walleye in the river like this? You gotta... I talked to that fisherman. He's very helpful. He said he's going after walleye, but he always ends up catching smallmouth. But he catches his fair share of walleye. And what he uses is a 2-foot leader, like a worm hook, and he dangles a worm. And he's got what's called a bottom bouncer, that he just bounces it off the bottom of the river like that and just kind of trolls it along. So yeah, I got to look at his setup. You know, I didn't want to put a camera in his face, but it's all up here. So I think I'm going to try that. Yeah. I just saw a street sign. It says I'm on the Great River Road. The Great River Road. And there's a river right there. And it looks like it's up here. Let me show you. Yeah, down here the river levels don't look like they've subsided any. I went up that old country road that way yonder. It just goes and goes and goes, and I don't know where it goes, so I turn around. I'm gonna go the other way. I know there's civilization that way. It's really nice out here. I like it so far. Okay, I'm back to the park entrance now. I think there's a bike path going the other way on this side. I'm gonna check it out because I'm a great explorer. Look at that. Sweet. You can't do this in a Toyota Camry. No, sir. You know, everything's paved. Looks newly paved. I'm on a bike trail. And yet somehow I feel like I'm off grid in the olden days. So I'm basically riding my bike through the suburbs on a bike trail. And the river's on my right. And there's yard sales, garage sales, which are awesome. And like most towns around where I live, I've been through them. I've never stopped at them. So it's kind of nice to stop at them and have a look, see what I'm missing out on. Which actually is quite a bit. They're pretty nice little towns. What makes them very unique to me, now I've lived here going on 20 years, 16, 17 years now in the area. And I still love the way people stop for you when you're at a crosswalk, be it on foot or on a bicycle. They stop. Now where I'm from, the big cities, they don't do that. Hey, these are nice crab apple trees. Anyway, yeah, I think it's just the greatest thing how courteous the people are. This whole sidewalk is crabapple trees on both sides, and they're ripe too. You could make some nice jam with those. Some are bigger, some are smaller. These are like decorative, I think. This looks like a heavy equipment place here. Big John Deere's. And it looks like I'm getting into downtown Little Falls, more urban area. And I feel safe. For now. It's like somebody's fixing up an old building there. Got them church tops there. I don't know, they kind of look Russian. Maybe Catholic. But the Minnesota Fishing Museum is right over here. As I head downtown. And much like where I live in the Brainerd Lakes area, there's like a hiring sign on just about every place you look. Now hiring. Coming back up on the river here. They got a little bike lane here. Sidewalk's fenced off. Military flags lining the bridge. Marine Corps, Navy, Army, Air Force, Coast Guard, the POW flag. Urban youth. He needs a new pair of trousers. Beautiful garden. I love the small town feel. The Gap. Taekwondo. Hardware Hanks. We got one of those up in Pine River. I think I'll get off the beaten trail and go a block over. Just 'cause. There's the library. People still use the library? I guess they do. Truly the burbs. Without a doubt. Look at the size of that house. Is that a house? It sure is. It's huge. Look at that. Wow. right next to the park. Back in the day, when many of these houses were built, these older homes in the late 1800s, early 1900s, they were built for 3 generations of family. That's why the houses were so big and the lots were so small. You know, they're close to where they work. And grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, all the kids, grandkids, everyone lived under the same house, under the same roof, under the same house, in the same house. Another public access. Look how big these houses are. My house is 1,500 square foot, 1 bath. These are 3 times that. There's another bridge over there. Houses all look Viking-ish. Looks like a really old gas station there. Such a beautiful day. Every once in a while you'll see a snowplow in somebody's driveway just to remind you that the harsh winter's coming. And here's the other crossing I've seen. It's the railroad tracks going across the Mississippi. I'm seeing a lot of outfitters along the river here. By outfitters, I mean like tour guides. They rent you a canoe or a kayak, probably an inner tube or something. They put you in the river, somewhere upriver, and they give you a set time, and they pick you up somewhere downriver, many miles away, which would make for a pretty great afternoon, I think. So that would be a pretty cool job. Like right there's an outfitter. Shirley May's Outfitter. Yeah, pretty nice fishing pier. There's one over on the other side, directly across too. The river looks really clean here. That is, I can see at least 4 feet down. And that is the railroad crossing I just showed you. Cool. We got a canoe kayak rentals. Nice little bus there. And here's the Minnesota Fishing Museum. And that's some pretty nice wall art. I've been in here before. It's okay. I don't feel like going in again. And this is a Catholic church here. Doesn't look like anybody's in here either. There's a bunch of really old fishing lures, small fishing boats. You know, just a history of Minnesota fishing. Pretty much you could see at every garage sale I've been to. And you know I had to ride down to the tower. Little Falls Water Tower right there. Straight ahead. Baseball diamond. Some kind of a city park. School. which is out. Lindbergh Lions Recreation Complex. And what could be better in Minnesota than a hockey rink? Yep. Flood that baby with water and groom it over.
For information on vaccine sites, visit the vaccine finder on the homepage of foxnews.com.
Land Rover Minneapolis, the #1 Land Rover dealer in the 5-state.
Candy's reading,
An exceptional experience.
and I'm watching
For yourself, the
television
of the Range Rover Velar.
with the air conditioning going,
394 in General Mills Boulevard.
using hotspot. Life is good.
Boost your credit scores instantly, fast and free, only with Experian Boost. Get the free Experian app now. Okay, we're not gonna answer this.
Okay, we made it back to the homestead. We stayed almost 2 days. It's like a whole day, a night, and a whole day. So, you know, I went ahead and threw the bike riding scene in there. A lot of you probably don't care about that, but I wanted to, because I really enjoyed it. Little Falls is a really nice little town. I really liked it, and I'll probably go back there, you know. It would be, you know, that park is really good for if you have relatives nearby and you don't want to inconvenience them by staying at their place or whatever. There was a lot of people in the campground just doing that. They're visiting from out of state and they had relatives nearby or within an hour drive. And it was a nice park, and they would just park there and stay, you know, some of them for a week or longer while they were just visiting relatives. So yeah, it was pretty nice. And that'd be a great park to do that. But next we're going to like Father Hennepin State Park, and that's that big giant, the biggest inland lake I think in the country, Mille Lacs. And then after that we're going to Tagohooch. That's another campground up north of Duluth. It's right on Lake Superior. It's one of the biggest, I think, parks in Minnesota, and it's really hard to get booked there. We had a hard time getting in, and we got in for a day, possibly 2. So, yeah, well, we're gonna keep going. We're just gonna keep going. So, hey y'all, see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. God bless.